Interview 1 with Avtar Jouhl, early childhood.
My childhood mm, in Jandiala, I was born on 2nd November 1937. My father's name Lakha Singh, my mother's name Banti Kaur. Lakha Singh has one brother, and Banti Kaur's sister was my uncle's sister, uncle's wife, and they lived in joint family system. My parents' house was right in the middle of village Jandiala, which is in district Jalandhar, and it had five five rooms, three on ground floor, two on first floor, and also two verandas. And all the family lived in that house, and they were farming agriculture, and all the cattle they were outside the village where another building for the cattle and the fodder was erected by my parents. I have three brothers, Son Singh, Sucha Singh, Gurbakh Singh, one sister, Harvansh Kaur. My parents did not send my brother and sister to school, and I was the last one in the family who was sent to the school in March 1943. My brother took me to school for my enrollment, and my educational tools were one slate, one wood board, one ink pot, and one chalk. No exercise books. I was enrolled at the village basic primary school. I did basic and plus one in the same year and went to the primary school on Jalandhar Road opposite the hospital. The school has 4 rooms, but all the school children they sat outside under the shades of the trees in the summer, in the sunshine in the winter, and sitting arrangement was on jute mats, no desk at all. For drinking water, there was a bell, and we school children have to push the operation of the bell to get water. For our lunch, we took meal from our homes, and at recess time during midday, we sat and ate that and drank water afterwards.
So were you taught with, do you write on books? Did you have books to take home?
Not in the first 2 class, and then the books was in mathematics, and medium of education was Urdu before 1947, and we took those books, and the teachers they assigned homework to each class. It is not each individual child, but each class, and we did the work at home, and next day the teacher marked the homework, and next day again set the homework. In each class there was one monitor of the class who was sort of assistant to the teacher. Not many teachers, 5 teachers for 4 classes, and also in each class no more than 40 children, all boys, because the girls' school was separate. Every year there was exam, which is like in-house exam for year 1, year 2, year 3, and then year 4th. It was not in-house exam, but the district education inspector used to come, set the exam paper, and we sat on the jute mats and did the work on slates and for dictation on the wood board. And we left that in the school, and the district education inspector marked, and after a week he visit the school and give the result, those who failed, those who passed. But there was no first class, second class, third class. So that was education system. And pre-1947, school children were from Muslim community, Hindu community, Sikh community, and also Dalit community. Very few children from Dalit community in the school, because affordability and parents paid fee from year 2 to year 4, and it was very strict discipline. And in terms of games, we didn't have hockeys, we didn't have footballs or any other sports equipment. For playing hockey, have to cut the branch of the tree, which is like a hook, and that we played with that as a hockey. Also there was running competition in the school grounds, and that's what sort of life. The teachers also use cane. Anybody who is mischievous, the teacher used to beat up, and the beating was on hands.
So were you mischievous?
I was beaten quite a few times for making mischief
Such as?
in the school. Funny with the other children, making fun of others, and also fun of the teachers. Head teacher didn't have one arm, and used to imitate him because he has the long shawl, and he always kept his arm hidden.
A bit like the villain out of Jouhl.
Yeah, yeah. And it was very strict. Before our exam, the 1947 partition problem started. Muslim attacking Sikhs and Hindus attacking Sikhs and Muslims. But the examination took place, and it was conducted by the district education officer, and I appeared in the exam and I passed. But before going to the high school, which was also in the village, but outside about a kilometer from village Jandiala, partition riots they started, and we were to go to this high school in May, but we didn't go until September for the fifth class. Before going to the high school, I want to briefly say about the structures in the village, social structures. Like my parents, they were agriculture farmers. They have buffaloes, cows for milking, oxes for tilling the land. They all their ancillary work was done by the mechanics attached to the house, like one ironsmith who made plows and datis and rambas, kropas, and the carpenter, he made all the wooden work for the farming tools. And for the oil, one oil miller in the village who crushed the mustard seeds and crushed it, and oil was produced. And the miller, he kept some part of the oil, but the mustard was given to the householders, like which is called, used to be called mustard leftovers. For hair cutting in the village, one barber was attached to us who did hair cutting, and also he served as a halwai when the social gathering were taking place, particularly at engagements and weddings. I remember my sister's wedding before 1947, and then Babu's father, he did all the cooking for the wedding party. For the clothes, farmers produced cotton. The cotton was then separated from the seed by a hand operated mill, and then cotton was sent to the machine to making it for the spinning of the cotton thread, and that thread was given to weaver, and weaver make the clothes on the khaddis. So there was one tailor attached to the family, and their rewards were not in cash. To the carpenter, to the blacksmith, to the tailor, to the barber, at the harvest time, twice a year, they were given 1 bushel of wheat and in the uh,